This is William K. Murtaugh, Murt Witness 1, and I'm going to speak briefly about the latest fiction from Timothy Charles Homseth. Now, Timothy Charles Homseth has made some interesting accusations against me and a number of other people over the years. His story changes, of course, over the last few years. And Mr. Homseth also claims that I have made some death threats, against him, which is rather curious because I made it specifically clear in the video, if he bothered to watch it, that it was not a death threat. It was a speculation based on the fact that he is running around posting on the internet that everybody wants to kill him. And what the video is supposed to be is a what-if scenario. Otherwise, what if what Homseth is saying is true? Now, what Homseth did is he went in and did a screen grab of my video, and he said, quote, on December 4th, 2019, William K. Murtaugh, Florida, a co-conspirator against Timothy Homseth writes with Montecraft Quest, published a 36-minute video on YouTube called Dead that contained multiple death threats against Timothy Homseth and many others. A copy of the video has been retained by the PPTF, which we all know that means. Well, here's the problem. Mr. Homseth needs to go and look and listen to the video. For someone that is supposed to be a quote-unquote investigative journalist, Mr. Homseth seems to have a comprehensive problem. He can't see and he can't hear, or he would have known that this video was made because he claims that he is the target of Mike Pence, the Vice President of the United States, and others. And what I am doing is examining what would happen if this were true. I think Mr. Homseth needs to go back to journalism school. Now, a couple of interesting things have also happened. A couple tweets by none other than President Donald J. Trump appeared on the internet. And it basically said that Donald J. Trump is declaring that the Pentagon Pedoiphile Task Force does not exist. It's fake news. Now, there are pictures of Montecraft with Donald Trump, as is there supposedly pictures of Donald Trump and Melania Trump in town the day that Timothy Homseth decided he wanted to be a fugitive for justice. The problem with that is Donald J. Trump was out of the country. Apparently somebody forgot to tell Timmy and company that, but, in the case of Timothy, facts don't matter, as we have seen time and time and time again. Okay, now, again, Donald J. Trump was supposed to have posted that the task force does not exist and that Timothy Charles Homseth is a fraud. Now, it's going to be up to the people watching this video and seeing these tweets on Twitter and elsewhere and on this video to decide for themselves. Now, remember, this guy, Timothy Charles Homseth, is claiming to be third in line to the President of the United States. He's supposed to have all the secret information, supposed to be the inside voice for Donald J. Trump. But what's Timothy Homseth doing? He's in hiding. He has no access to Donald Trump at all. Never has, never will. But you stupid people out there who post this stuff on Facebook saying he's doing all this, are just being taken to the cleaners. Literally, because I'm quite sure there are some of you morons out there that are giving this guy money, giving him a car to drive, giving him food and shelter, pandering this little idiot. Well, he literally takes you people to the bank. It's rather pathetic, and I get the biggest kick out of it. But while we're on the subject here, I am going to make a challenge and an offer to the so called pedophile task force. I will be available anytime, anywhere that you see fit to interview me. I'll take a polygraph test, I'll take some sodium pentothal, and whatever means necessary for you to go through my life history from the day I was born until present day and see if what Timothy Charles Holmes says is true. But here's the kicker. You people are going to have to come up with proof that you exist. I just don't want a phone call with an index saying, oh, we're from the pedophile Pentagon Task Force, or however you pronounce this stupidity. I want someone to show up with a badge and with specific credentialed government identification that I can check with my connections in Washington. Because I'm going to tell you something, you people from this Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. You need to make a few calls up there in Washington, D.C. You might start with a woman by the name of Jacqueline R. Fairbanks. She'd be very interested in talking to you. Now, I'm not going to give you too much information on Miss Fairbanks. She's not married. Miss Fairbanks, other than she would be rather curious to know how this little organization can exist. And she would very much like to talk to whoever it is that's running this little Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. Now, if you people are who you say you are, you will have no problem in tracking Miss Fairbanks down. She is very well known in certain circles. She would be very glad to talk to you people, and I can guarantee you she has the authority to talk to you people if you are who you say you are. But be reminded of this. It's people like Miss Fairbanks that if they find out you're representing the United States government and stating that you are a member of a task force that does not exist, you're in big trouble. Because you know it is against the law to impersonate a government agent. It is against the law to declare that you're a government agent. Now, there are people out there that are claiming to be agents of the United States government. And Miss Fairbanks is going to track you people down, gather the evidence that is needed, and you people are going to Leavenworth. You won't be going to Gitmo. You people have no clues to what Gitmo is. It has nothing to do with civilian criminals, people that are, shall we say, violating federal law. Leavenworth is where people go that either are or have been members of the military, and there are places that people go that have committed espionage, treason, and so on and so forth. And that's what's going on here. And I don't think Tim Holmseth realizes this. Tim Holmseth, by declaring that he is third in line to the President of the United States, and that he is a member of this Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, is violating federal statutes. It's against the law to impersonate a government agent. It's against the law to claim to be an agent of the federal government falsely. So Timothy Charles Holmes says, very soon, had better come up with some credentials, or people like Miss Fairbanks are going to be paying him a call. And I guarantee you, you're not going to like it when you see that gold 5-star badge in your face and that black Suburban with the 5 men that accompany her with the black suits and a warrant for your arrest. And you'll go up there and you'll have a nice little talk with a man by the name of Barr, B-A-R-R, who would very much like to talk to you. Because I guarantee you this, the United States government is running out of patience with you people. They are running out of patience with Phil McConnell. They are running out of patience with Timothy Charles Homseth. And they're running out with patience with a couple of other people. Now, Timmy can sit there and say, oh, he's kidding. He's not telling the truth. Well, you're not telling the truth either, Timmy. And one of these days, sooner than later, somebody is going to come knocking on your door, and they're going to have a piece of paper in their hand, and that piece of paper is a federal warrant charging you with false representation of an agent of the United States government. So if you don't stop this nonsense and declare that, oh, this is for entertainment purposes only, or I'm just kidding, you're going to get arrested. And so are all these other people that declare themselves to be members of the Pentagon Pedoiphile Task Force. And I would suggest that lady that is a United States Marine look into the law, because she is either a current or former member of the United States military, which means she's under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And if she is going around declaring that she's a member of this task force that does not exist as a branch of the federal government, as a military person, she's in a lot more serious trouble, and she will find herself in Leavenworth. The same goes for Kurt Pendergrass. Kurt Pendergrass is former military, which means if he is impersonating a federal agent of the United States government with some of the claims that he's made, he is also in a little bit of trouble. So you people out there that are declaring that you're part of the Pentagon Pedoiphile Task Force, you might want to check the federal statutes on falsely claiming to be a federal agent of the United States government. Because you are being watched. That's part of the reason I'm doing my Eye in the Sky series, is to give you ample warning that your impersonation and false declaration of being federal agents is going to catch up to you. Charges have been filed. Paperwork has been signed. It's just a matter of time before black Suburbans with government G1 plates on them come popping into your driveway, knocking on your door and saying you're getting a free airplane trip to Washington, and pulls out the little Miranda thingy and says you have a right to remain silent, you have a right to a lawyer. And when that happens, just remember this video. Remember, I gave you ample warning. I gave you time to get out of your little mess. It's up to you. Either get out of this mess or go to jail. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.